I wonder nowadays, our ladies now say, I want to marry a rich man. I want to marry, and she's lazy. She's not doing anything. But she wants to marry a Boaz. Boaz wants to see a lady who is hard at work.
Wow.
Productivity is attractive.
Welcome to another episode of Banters that Edify with Abba's Dwelling, where we turn inspiring stories into beautiful conversations and discuss topics that don't just entertain, but also edify. So sit back, grab a popcorn or your favorite snack and enjoy the ride. It promises to be fun.
Once again, welcome to another episode of Banters that Edify with Abba's Dwelling, powered by Jegron. Today, we are going to be discussing a very interesting topic on productivity as a young person. Titled it, The Productive Young Christian. And wait for it, I have a very wonderful guest today with us. What a privilege to have with us today, Pastor Williams Mankata, a chemical engineer, a Cambridge STEM teacher, pastor of SB Church in Kazan, public speaker and a trainer, passionate about youth development and all-round excellence. He has displayed exceptional leadership and management skills by building the international service in SB Church in Kazan, Russia, from just a few dozen to several hundreds of multilingual and multicultural international students whom he teaches, mentors, and pastors to become successful individuals spiritually, mentally, psychologically, and emotionally. We are privileged to host him today as he joins us from Kazan, Russia. Woo! Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Frater. It's really a great honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Amazing. Yes. How is the weather in Kazan? Is it cold?
Currently, it's getting quite chilly. Last week was quite chilly, but this week is quite better.
Okay.
So we are like plus 8 degrees Celsius or 6. So it's better now. But last week it was like 1-0. So,
oh my! I do not envy you. Well, I know your weather is cold, but the discussion is going to be hot. I expect.
Of course.
We're talking about a hot topic. This is a topic that you have personal connections to you. You do a lot of content creation around productivity and management and discipline. If you can tell us in 1 second, why do you think all of this is important?
I think all these things are important because, from the Christian point of view, I see that most Christians try to make a lot of mistakes because they feel like life is all about maybe only prayer. I mean, prayer is very important. We have to pray, but there are certain things that God wants us to learn and study. And when we don't learn these things, it affects our general growth, prosperity, and productivity. Okay. And so I think the reason why I was passionate about because it's something I went through in my life. And nobody taught me. So it's something that I was a victim of that because I was like this kind of praying person and everything and thinking that prayer solves everything. But when I began to realize that things like that doesn't work like that, and I begin to learn other things in the Bible and also listening to other people, then I begin to develop other parts. So it became something very passionate to me that it's something, a knowledge that I should also do what? Pass around. So it's something that I was a victim before. And now, through the grace of God, I learned through, and things are working out better by the grace of God.
That's amazing. You're talking about turning your pain into your passion. And I heard you say prayer doesn't solve everything. That's one statement I got clearly. And that there are practical things even from the Bible, and that Christians have the tendency of tilting towards the spiritual side of things and ignoring the practical. And then there's the other extreme of going towards the practical side and ignoring the spiritual. So what we are trying to do now is to find the balance.
The balance, yes. Okay. Because there are two types of Christians in the body of Christ. And there are people who are very, very practical and not spiritual. And they have their effect as well. Being too practical and not spiritual have its own dangers. And being too spiritual and not being practical has its own consequences. But as Bible said that a false balance is an abomination unto him. So God wants us to be balanced at all part of our lives, both spiritual and a practical part, and we'll have a holistic growth in everything that we do.
That's right. That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're going to dive right in now to the meat of the discussion. The first question is still kind of on the surface. Why should a Christian be productive? Right. We're talking about being balancing the spiritual and the practical to achieve our goals in life. Is there any biblical basis for being productive as a Christian?
I think it's very, very biblical, because I think that God himself is productive. Right. When we say the word productive means what? To yield results, to get profits, to do more, to achieve more.
Okay.
And when we even look at the way God created the world, you realize that God created the world in 6 days.
Yeah.
Now, if you check the Bible very well, from the first day to the 6th day, when he finishes, he said, and it was good. The evening and the morning. Then he said the second day. Then he will say he created all this in the second day. He said it was good.
Yeah.
The evening and the morning, the third day. Now, how can God look and say that and the day was good? So it means that God could have used 10 years to create the world. But why did God decide to use 6 days to create the world? And at every day, when the day ends, he said that, and it was good. The creation, he maximized and said in the evening and the morning. It means that he had a duration, and he maximized that time. He maximized that period that he had. Right? And he said it was good. Not only the creation, but he maximized the day. And he used day 1, day 2, and everything that he did was planned, was strategized. He knew what he was doing in day 1. He knew what he was doing in day 2, day 3, day 4, day 6. Wow. And when he has finished creating everything in day 6, he said that, and it was what? Very good. So God himself did a daily review and did a weekly review of what he has done. And he said that it was very, very what? Good. Wow. And when he has done everything, he said that he now rested. Okay. But when you read a book of also Ecclesiastes 9 verse 10, Bible said, so if you read, I think the ERV version, he said that whatsoever thing that your hands find it to work, do it at with your best. Might. Other versions say that do it at your best. Okay. And why should also Christians know? One is that I think God is productive. Right. First, God himself is a productive person. Now, the first commandment that God gave Adam, if you read the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 15, God told Adam that God put Adam in the garden and told him to work it. Or that the Amplified to cultivate it and to keep, the NIV says that, and to keep it in order.
All right.
Now, God did not tell Adam to be dancing in the garden or just to be praying in the garden or to be shouting. He said, like, work the ground. So he wanted him to be productive. Now, the presence was there. Bible said, and God came in the cool of the day to fellowship. But when God left after fellowship, cultivate the land, work the ground, cultivate, make it, and he said that to keep it in order. Otherwise, to dress it. So God did not want to come to the garden and see a messy place. God wants to come to the place with his angels and enjoy earth like heaven. You understand? So the first commandment that God gave Adam, right, is to be what? To be productive. Don't stay here and be singing. Don't stay here and be dancing. Don't stay here and be shouting. There will be a time for fellowship. I'll come, we'll fellowship, we'll pray, we'll talk, we'll gist. But when I go, be productive.
Wow.
Productive. Yes.
Thank you.
So that's it. Okay, I can give you more scriptures.
You can go on. We have 1 minute.
If you actually look at the Bible very well, if you read the book of Ruth, chapter 2, reading from 5 to 6, you will realize that the first attention that Boaz got from Ruth was that Ruth was productive.
I like that.
Because when Boaz came, he asked that, who is this person? And they told him that, oh, he is a Moabite woman who have come with this, Naomi, this and this and this. He said, and he has been working hard. If you read the NLT, the New Living Translation, he said he has worked hard with little rest. And it caught Boaz's attention. So, I mean, I wonder nowadays, our ladies, I want to marry a rich man. I want to marry, and she's lazy. She's not doing anything. But she wants to marry a Boaz. Boaz wants to see a lady who is hard at work.
Wow.
Productivity is attractive.
Wow.
Productivity is attractive. That's kind of man I was telling them yesterday that, you see, you attract the kind of man you are. You attract the person you are.
How true.
See, so if you want to marry a rich, because if you read the Bible very well, if you check the way Boaz was a businessman, he was famous, he was important, he was wealthy, he was influential. Now, do you think he just wants a lazy woman to just be around him?
Not at all.
No, he wants somebody who will increase the wealth. And you have to realize that there were other ladies who who were in the field. But when they told him that this girl has been working and he has taken little rest, it caught his attention.
Wow.
Why? Because he wants somebody that is hard at work, that is productive. So Ruth was what? Was productive.
Wow.
Okay, so I can give you several things in the scripture. You see that productivity is what? Is key.
Yeah, I see that.
If you even check the Bible very well, says that sees a man diligent in his business. Other versions say that sees a man hard at his work. He shall not stand before ordinary men. He shall stand before kings. If you are productive will lift you what? Higher. Wow. Productive will lift you higher. If you become a person of excellence, you become productive in everything. Just imagine, will you like to go to a house or a place that is dirty and everything? No. You want order, you want cleanliness, and that is the first commandment. So productivity is something kingdom. It's not something a worldly term. It is something that God wants us to practice.
Wow, you are preaching, sir. You've given an entire Bible study outline. Thank you. It's so amazing. And what you said about Ruth, I never saw it like that before, but it is very true. That was the same story for Rebecca, right? That's what brought Rebecca into the family of Abraham. It was that service, that productivity. So it's so amazing. Like God himself is productive. I've never seen it like that before. Like you just gave me a picture of God reviewing his day at the end of every day. Almost like he was keeping a journal. So what did I achieve today? Did I achieve my goals for today? And we see the whole of creation, very sequential. He did not start by creating the fish. No, he started by bringing order, let there be light. And then the earth, and then he separated it, and then he said, let the earth bring forth. So we see a very planned and systematic God. And if he created us in his image, then that's who we ought to be.
Yeah, and his spirit is in us. So we have to replicate the same dimension.
The Holy Spirit is essentially a spirit of productivity.
Yes.
And you said productivity is attractive. And I really like that. Yeah, it attracts. It does attract, So, wow, thank you. There are many ways we could go more into this, but because of time, I'll just jump to the next question. How powerful are habits when it comes to productivity?
Before I talk about habits, I want to talk about actions. Okay. Because it is your actions that determines your action determines your habits.
Okay.
Your habit determines your character. Okay. And your character determines your destiny.
All right.
So your actions is actually a prophetic statement of how your life is going to be. You don't determine your destiny, you choose your actions, and your actions prophesize your destiny for you. Now, so habit is a product. It's like a daughter of actions. So action is the mother, and you give birth to habits. Okay. So what is habit? Habit means that something that you consistently do for a period of time, and the psychology said that for 21, let's say 30 days. Let's say 30 days. What you do for 30 days, it becomes a lifetime habit.
Wow.
That is why if you check the Bible very well, when they were making the allegation against Daniel, what did they say? That he shouldn't pray for 30 days. What was it? They were trying to cancel the habit so that he will not tap into the spirit of excellence, because they know his source, that his source is God. So they are cutting that connection that he will not have. So although it sounds very logical, but they understand that if somebody cannot do something for 30 days, they have cut his connection. You understand? As far as they can cut his habit, he will not get that source, and he will be like ordinary person. Right? So habit, you choose your actions. And now, when you choose the action, you have to discipline yourself. You understand? Because let me tell you, it is easier to do a bad thing than a good thing. You understand? So that is why discipline now stays inside. So when you pick the right action, you now and you make sure you are consistent. I mean, see how you brush your teeth. It's the same thing. We have been doing this for a very long time. So when you wake up, by default, you go to the bathroom and you brush your teeth. Why? It has become a lifetime habit. Okay. So when you consistently do something, so you can pick a simple habit, maybe something like praying, right? Why do people pray every day? So, I pray every day. Why? Because he wakes up, he does it first thing in the morning, right? So if you also apply all these habits in other areas of your life, you realize that some things will just come naturally. Others will think you're a magician, but because you are doing it consistently.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're talking about habits, and I actually drew a chart when you said you actually do your action, and then your action, when you repeat it, becomes a habit. 21 to 30 days, and your habit becomes character, and character decides destiny. So you do not actually choose your destiny. In your own words, you choose your action, and your action prophesies what your destiny would be. Action is the mother, and then habit is the daughter. And whatever you do consistently for 21 to 30 days becomes a habit.
Thank you very much. You see, people know you based on your character.
Yes.
All right. Because of the actions you have done over the time. That is why if you take the Bible very well, when the sower came, he gave 1 5, he gave 1 2, he gave 1 1. He said according to their abilities.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that one went to bury. He knew that he will not do anything with it. He knew.
So he could predict his destiny based on his previous actions. Wow.
And no wonder he went to bury it.
So the future is not really mystical. You can look at what somebody is doing today and predict that person's destiny.
Yes.
And if you can make a person do something, you can control the person's destiny.
Control the person.
If you can make a person do something consistently enough.
Consistently, yes. Okay. John Maxwell said something that if I come to your house and I spend 24 hours in your house, I will know how your life will be. Mike Murdoch said something. He said that if you don't know how to manage your 24 hours very well, how do you think you can manage 24 years?
Oh my God.
So if you can manage 24 hours, how do you think you can manage 24 years?
Wow. These are very interesting things.
Yeah. So simple things determines great destinies.
Okay. So what we call destiny is simply broken down into habits and then to actions.
Habits, actions.
Daily actions.
Our daily actions, our daily decisions. Yes.
Amazing. That's great. Thank you very much. I've been enjoying this conversation. I hope you are enjoying it, our dear listeners. We're going to take a commercial break right now, and then when we come back, we will continue. So thank you very much.
If you're enjoying this conversation, kindly share this with your friends and family members. Follow us on abbasdwelling.com for more edifying and interesting stories. And if you do decide to follow us on our social media, we are on Instagram, Abbas_dwelling, and Abbasdwelling on Facebook. Thanks for listening, and let's get back to the conversation now.
Welcome back to this wonderful episode of Banters that Edify with Abbas Dwelling, powered by Jegron. If you're just joining us, we have Pastor Williams Mankata from SB Church in Kazan, a trained chemical engineer, STEM teacher, really giving us strong points on building habits and being productive. So we've talked about what productivity is, why a Christian should be productive, and the power of habits. Very amazing stuff. And right now we have just 2 more points as we count our time till the end of this discussion. What are some daily habits you recommend for a young Christian to develop in order to be productive?
I feel as a Christian, something that I see most Christians don't do, because I think I pastor a church, and I've seen hundreds of people make simple mistakes, and I don't know, because I also a STEM Cambridge teacher, and I see people of the world practice it more than Christians. The first thing that I want to recommend: plan your day.
Okay.
Plan your day. A night before or very early in the morning. You can do it even as you are praying. Maybe 3 things you want to do for the day. Number 1, I will do this. Number 2, I will do this. Right?
Okay.
Use your Apple calendar. Use your Google calendar.
Okay.
Don't use your phone alone for only entertainment. Use this thing for productivity hacks. That is going to help you. Okay. So use your Apple calendar. You can write it down. What works for you? Okay. So first thing in the morning, and it doesn't take it. It has been proven that when you write something down, the chances of you even just to write it down, the chances you achieve it is already 30 to 50%. Just to write it down.
Okay.
It boosts the probability of you achieving it is 30 to 50% higher.
Wow. All right.
So when you write something down, and I'm doing this, like today, I wrote what I want to do for my plan for today. It's here. And it's before this, I've achieved almost like 70-80% of it, what I want to achieve for today.
Okay.
Because I know what I really wanted to do.
All right.
Okay. So when you write it down, to transfer your knowledge, your ideas into, because you see, I think laziness is not just laziness. Laziness starts from the mind. The greatest laziness of the mind. I will do it tomorrow. Oh, this one. No, do it now. Write it down, and you will realize that, it's going to be very wonderful. So the first thing I want to recommend is that write your ideas. Maybe use your you can write it using the paper. You can also write it down on your Apple calendar, your Google calendar, something daily plan, and do it very first thing in the morning, even before you pray, or a night before. 5 minutes, you finish it, and you start your prayer.
That's good. That's good. Now, that's the first habit you're recommending.
Yes.
And I think by recommending that, you are assuming that this person sleeps in the night and wakes up in the morning.
Okay, so that's the second thing I want to recommend also. The second thing I want to talk about is that I really want people to sleep early and wake up early.
All right.
Yeah, of course, we are all different, right? Yeah. We are all different in some people are not like to work more at night, and some people like to work in the day. So choose what works for you. But if you can sleep early, it is good. When you sleep early, you wake up early. You are fresh. Your brain, you slept very well. You are awake for. I read a book by Teresa Bell, 5 Things Successful People Do Before 5 a.m. Right? That book changed my life. You understand? They meditate, they plan, they read. Yeah, basic thing you can do very, very early that can transform your life. So sleep early and wake up early. Sometimes I see Christians going up too late. They say they want to read at night, and they stay sometimes at 3 to 3 a.m. and then their absorption rate is very small. Just sad. So if you're a night worker, work, right? But if you're also a daily worker, then don't waste your night watching movies. Sleep early and wake up early.
Yeah. I think I really like that, because in the Bible we see all our role models waking up early. Right? Some people say we're night people, we are morning people. Yeah. I do understand that, but I like to enforce it somehow. Jesus Christ got up a great while before daylight. Daniel, David said early in the morning. Of course, people try to interpret that differently, but early meant early. Isaiah said morning by morning, he waked me up. So we see it as a pattern in scripture. Yeah. So yes. So we have 1 more minute for this question. So plan your day, sleep and wake up early. If you can run through the others.
I also want to talk about review your daily goals. Right. At the end of every day, ask your skill, like what God did, and it was good, right?
Yes.
Review your daily goals. Okay, today, what did I achieve? What were the mistakes, right? Like, for example, like the daily goal that I've written right now and I've achieved. I'm going to use 5 minutes or 10 minutes. How was the day? Did I like it? This play, what did I do wrong? When you review your day, it gives you an advantage on what to do better tomorrow. It is called self-accountability, right? You know what went wrong the day, what you should change, and doing in that consistently, you realize that every day you become better and better and better. But when you don't review your goals or how your day went, you realize that you do worse and worse as the days get along. So I'll recommend that review your daily goals. Yes. And last thing I want to recommend also is that daily practice, read. Bible said, and I, Daniel, understood by books.
Read books.
Read your Bible.
If you say read, is it Instagram stories? What should you read exactly?
No, not Instagram stories. Not WhatsApp. Of course, you can subscribe to very good. Okay, before I go to Instagram stories, I want to pick a good book. I think Jerome, we have Gilead Kani's books and other men of God's books. Read to expand your knowledge. Read to learn. Read to know something. Okay, yes. Read your Bible first and read other books. Do you know the Bible is made up of 66 books of other great men of God compiled together to make the Bible? So it's books. So read other things, read materials, and don't read only about spiritual things. Read finances, read about other material, read about what you feel God is calling you into. Read, expand your knowledge.
Beautiful.
But it's not all knowledge you will get from school. Read, learn, and you see that you will be a wonder to yourself.
Amazing. We are talking about daily habits here, right? So some people think they do not have time and books are too big or something. How many minutes do you recommend for reading every day?
15 minutes. It's okay.
Right. 15 minutes is okay.
See, the problem is not how much you read, it's the habits you build. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So the power is in the consistency.
In the consistency. So if you read 15 minutes for every day, after 1 week, the energy will build up for 30 minutes. Then the energy will build up. You understand? So don't say, oh, I want to read 8 hours, 6 hours. Relax. It will come after next year. But for now, if you can't read 15 minutes every day, then you see that the energy self will keep building to have the interest. You don't have to, you can even finish one book a month. It's okay. Keep building the energy. Keep building the energy. You see that the transformation will be so rapid, and you yourself, you'll be dragging yourself to be reading more books.
Amazing. Thank you. This is going pretty good. We have one more question, and we'll have 4 minutes to discuss that question. Okay. You've already begun to touch on it a little bit. So what the productivity tools and the methods that you'd suggest for various aspects like time management, note taking, budgeting, fitness? You've already mentioned Apple and Google calendars. So we use online calendars on our smartphones. You've mentioned having the writing, so you should have at least a notebook and a pen. So what are the other things you recommend?
When it comes to finances, I try to use like Numbers on Apple, which is also like Excel on other maybe Microsoft, to keep recording of my finances. That is what worked for me. You can use other financial apps, but
why don't you just calculate it in your brain? Just buy stuff and subtract.
Your brain will always deceive you.
Your brain will always deceive you.
Yes, write it down to know, because anytime I talk to people who are broke and people who don't have money, I ask them, show me your budget. What is your plan? Show me how you record it. And they say, I don't know. It's in my head. And they are poor. You know a poor person by his habits.
That's right.
You know a poor person by his habit. I ask you, what's your budget? Show me your budget. Oh, I don't have a budget.
No budget.
You understand? But if you write your budget down, you tell me how much you are spending. Like I'm in my financial plan, I've been, by the grace and by the mercy of God, I've been recording my finance for the past 3 years consistently.
Wow.
Consistently for the past 3 years. Consistently. I record everything. I categorize them. I can tell you how much I spent on transport last month, how much I spent on transport last 2 years. It's recorded. It is there. In 3 seconds, I can click it and then open to you how much I pay tithe. It's written down. How much I sow seeds. How much I spend on restaurant. It's written. If you don't be accountable to yourself, God will not come and do it for you. And Gabriel will not help you to do that. Somebody said that God gave you a brain so that he can rest.
How true. Good. So Numbers / Excel, on your Apple.
Yes, you can use that
for budgeting and for financial management.
For financial management, yes. For planning, yes.
Okay.
For example, fitness. Carry your gym bag and go to the gym. That's the only advice. Carry your gym bag and go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Yeah. It works. I just came back from the gym right now, the treadmill, ran for like almost 8 kilometers on the treadmill. It helps. It releases stress. Certain diseases will just burn out naturally. You understand? You still grow and become very, very healthy. Stop taking too much sugar. Girls, the ladies, we beg you. You are drinking tea with 5 cubes of sugar.
Oh my God.
Later, you are complaining that you are gaining weight. You are complaining that you are having this kind of sicknesses. No. Right? When you take too much sugar, you are likely to get diabetes. You are likely to get stroke. You are likely to get all kinds of diseases. So stop all those things. Drink water. Somebody one time told me that, hey, you're not living a good life. I say, why? He said, you're not drinking juice. He made me laugh.
Imagine.
Right? Drink water. Once ever you drink juice, you say, so this kind of help. Go to the gym, reduce certain sugary food and all those things. It's going to help you.
Just to cut you there, is there an alternative to going to the gym for those who do not want to, or who claim they do not have enough money to subscribe for a gym, or because the weather is not favorable, or because of the time? Are there alternatives that you can do during gym?
You can wake up in your room. You can do some exercises. You can jump. You can run in the room or something. You can trot. 15 minutes every day. You can do press up 20 every day. Understand? Just to keep your body, because even exercise affects you the way you think.
It does.
Some of my greatest ideas came when I was on a treadmill. Not even when I was even praying. When I was exercising. You understand? Greatest ideas came. So exercise. You can even do it when you are praying. Walk. If you are praying for 3, it has been proven that when you pray and you walk, by the time you finish walking in prayer, you have walked 8,000 steps.
It depends on the length of the prayer, of course.
Yeah, the length of the prayer, of course. Yes. So you can pray, you can walk, you can exercise, you can do, if you have skipping rope, you can do some skipping. 15 minutes, 20 minutes before you go to school, and it will help you. You will start, because it will already in your brain, it will tell you that you have done something successful for the first thing in the day. And that mindset will then keep you throughout the day.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. This is so wonderful. This so the Excel and the app numbers app on Apple devices for budgeting and going to the gym or replacing it with physical activity during the day and making it a habit. It releases endorphins. It gives it makes the reward center of your brain to reward you, and it's really good. And then stop taking too much sugar. I guess that covers for healthy nutrition. Right?
Healthy nutrition.
Lots of vegetables.
Yes.
And fruits. Lots of water.
Reduce oils. Reduce
oils and fried foods.
Food. We like lots of tomato pasta.
Yeah.
And frying. And
unfortunately, we believe so much in the power of God to heal, but God has given wisdom for what to eat and what not to eat to maintain good health.
Mr. Fatih, let me tell you something here, just to chip in. Bible says that if you read message Bible, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, and let every daily affairs of your life prosper. God wants us to be in good health, not to be healed. God wants us to be in daily health, not to be healed.
It's a lifestyle, the healthy
living a healthy life.
Okay,
you understand? Healed. God wants us to be. That's another, like when things go wrong. That's when. But God wants us to live in perpetual health.
Okay.
Somebody said something that why didn't God create juice, but God created water? He knows why.
He created water, and then he created orange, and then he created sugar, and then now we mix it all together. That's amazing. I wish we had more time. The last app I probably would recommend for my own end is Notion. Notion. I found Notion to be a multi-purpose app for planning, for collaboration on projects, for writing, and for keeping track of information from the net and just storing. It's really, really good. So thank you very much. So we've come to the end of this episode. What I really enjoyed about this conversation is that you are effortlessly passionate about this. I can tell that we can go on with this conversation for 4 hours because this is your passion. There's nothing as beautiful as listening to somebody talk about something that he or she is passionate about. So I want to thank you for that. So thank you very much, dear listeners. We've come to the end of this wonderful podcast show. One last thing that everybody should know is that Pastor Williams is very single and is looking for a wife. So if you have any candidate out there, you can just reach out to us at Banters that Edify. Would screen her, and then who knows what may happen. All right, then. So thank you very much, Pastor Williams. It's been a very wonderful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. They can also go to my YouTube channel.
Good. Yes, please follow. What's the name of the channel?
Get Empowered with Willie Manx.
Get Empowered with Willie Manx, and you can follow him on Instagram. Daily, he releases content that will help you in many different areas of your life. I'm a subscriber on YouTube. I'm a follower on Instagram. Okay. So I highly recommend it. Thank you very much, sir. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right.
So we've come to the end of our conversation today. Thank you for listening in. Let us know what you think by reaching out to us through our email at abbasdwellingplace@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you. See you again next week. Bye.